So this shooting that I'm going to highlight today happened in Yakima, Washington. Yakima, Washington, February 4th, 2025. This guy right here is Casey Shilil Perort. So Casey Shilil Perort is the one that is going to report on the findings of this case. So you're going to have a drive-by shooting in Wiley City Market. An 18-year-old named Alexander Sanchez Patraz. He's going to get arrested 2 to 3 hours later, so that's good job for the Yakima County Police. Now the crazy thing about it, I don't have any pictures of the vehicle or of the victims or of the perpetrator. All I have is the picture of the spokesperson for the Yakima County Sheriff. And then I'll show you the articles. And Yakima seems to be a pretty tough place. But it sounds like the way that the media is reporting is all that happened was you had two people were driving. They made eye contact with each other. And the guy is going to shoot 9 times at the other guy's car. Alexander Sanchez Patraz is going to shoot at the other guy whose unnamed's car, and the vehicle is going to be riddled with bullet holes. There was numerous shell casings at the scene. In fact, there was specifically 9 9mm casings, and the vehicle was riddled with bullet holes. It's not drug or gang related, just for making eye contact. That's crazy. That sounds like a grasshopper war kind of thing. This shit can pop off over absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing can get a person to shoot at you. Now the biggest kicker is that the victim, the man who was just driving his car, and he made eye contact with some hot-headed young adult male who's going to shoot at his car 9 times. Well, he had a 4-year-old in the car, and one of the bullet holes hit the car seat. So his 4-year-old son could have been shot and killed. Talk about just absolutely senseless bullshit. Just dumbass bullshit. They made eye contact, and is that the biggest crime in the damn world? Hey, how dare you look at me? So I'm going to pop my gun off at you 9 times at least, hit your car 9 times. And the man's 4-year-old son was in the car. They could have shot his kid. So good on the Yakima County Sheriff's Department for arresting Alexander Sanchez Patraz. 2 to 3 hours later, the arraignment is going to be February 19th, 9 a.m., and he's on a $100,000 bond. Now let's take a look at some of the evidence. What's the evidence? So here you have the Yakima County Jail lookup. So he's been charged with assault 1, drive-by shooting. Here's a $100,000 bond. This is the charge, 9A36011. You got a booking number, the date that he went in, February 4th. Looks like at 11 p.m. No planned release day. And then I can't believe how little of a internet trail any of these, the guy, they didn't even say who the guy was, who the victim was. Alleged victim, right? You're innocent until proven guilty, so until there's a conviction technically. But Alexander Sanchez Patraz. So where is this Sanchez at? Sanchez. Here we go. Alexander Sanchez. And then he's not expected to be released. And then I'm not sure what all these numbers are saying. I guess that's a booking date and then some other numbers. So I'm not bullshitting you. There was a guy named Alexander L. Lewis, Alexander Lewis Benton. What's Lewis Benton? I don't even know. That might be the arresting officer. because that's 5 names. But Alexander Sanchez Potratz was arrested for doing this drive-by shooting on a guy for just making eye contact with him. Now we have a lot of different things that's happening in Yakima. There is 2 suspects suffered gunshots in deadly Yakima grocery store shooting. 2 suspects. So a 19-year-old man had died at the scene. This is crazy. I mean, what is Yakima? I didn't realize Yakima, Washington had so much violence that was happening. This had happened November 8th, 2024. So this is just another story. 2 people arrested at the hospital, suspicion of homicide and looting. So just 2 people had died after the shooting in the parking lot of a grocery store. So Yakima is already pretty tough anyways. So let's see here. Yakima man after officer involved shooting. Homicide suspect shot, killed by police after violent Adams County Spokane police. Fatal shooting involving Centralia police. NSP investigating Washington County officer involved shooting. There wasn't any officer involved shooting. I didn't hear. Here we go. So this comes from KimaTV.com. So Yakima, Washington, the sheriff's deputies responded to a drive-by shooting near Wiley City Market. Maybe I could pull up City Market. Where's this Wiley City Market at? What's this Wiley City Market look like? So here's Wiley City Market. It's got 4.2 stars out of 40 Google reviews. And I don't know exactly where it is. Should I look up the address? Yeah, I'll look up the address too, because we got a little picture right there, right? So we'll look at Google Maps and find out exactly where it's at. But Wiley City Market, let's take a look at these photos. So not the greatest place, right? It's not just a supermarket, but a place for beer, and it's just a little corner, a little side, you know. Here's a fuller view of the thing. Here's the whole thing, right? Wiley Road, Wiley Valley Road. I'm not even sure where the market is. Is it by here? Is it this Pepsi place over here? So it seems kind of a rundown area. There seems desolate. You got an RV right here and then just absolutely nothing. Some kind of just big flat. Okay, so the Wiley City Market, hot deli, tortoise, free ice bag with a 24-pack. So here you go. And then while they were going around, you know, here's some guys that the Google camera had captured. What the hell is this? So this is the market. It seems like it's right there on the main street. So I don't know exactly where this shooting where it took place. But you're just driving by, and it said they're at the Wiley City Market. And what's Wiley City? I guess this is the city that it's located in. So that's the Wiley City. Let's get back to some of the details. Numerous shell casings and a vehicle riddled with bullet holes. Why didn't you take a picture of that vehicle? The incident occurred at 6:30 p.m., but fortunately nobody was injured. Yeah, fortunately nobody was injured. His 4-year-old son was in the car, and one of the bullets narrowly missed the child's head, striking his car seat instead. Sheriff deputies arrested Alexander Sanchez Potratz in connection with the assault and drive-by shooting. I know people are hot-headed and they're temperamental. I feel like even though it's not so much gang or, you know, drug-related or whatever, it's not that they were criminals who knew each other. They're not part of rival gang members. I wonder if this Alexander Sanchez Potratz is part of a gang. Because why would you just pop off like that? Why would you just absolutely... And then that's the entire article. So I'm glad that this Kima TV is actually reporting something. But 3, 4 sentences, 5 sentences of this entire ordeal, that sounds freaking nuts to me. That's nuts. And then the only picture you got is just the little icon of the Yakima County Sheriff's Office, which is a kind of, you know, that's nice. What is that? The state of Washington, and then you got a mountain right there. But I just feel like, can we say some more information about what had happened? Who's the victim? You know, the purported victim, right? You're innocent until proven guilty. So, you know, for right now, pretend that the official narrative is true, but you should be somewhat skeptical of anything and everything that you hear. But where's, you didn't print the guy's name, you didn't print the what had happened. It just drive-by shooting, nobody was injured, the child was almost killed, and then they arrested somebody. Okay, maybe we need to, here's another report, and then this was, followed up a couple days later, so we should have more information, right? So, let's see, Yakima Greenway, King Food, the gunman was shot dead. Well, this is something different. So let's get back to this drive-by shooting. So this is NBCRightNow.com. NBCRightNow.com actually got a little bit more information by Mark Ratner, non-stop local digital journalist. 18-year-old, this was February 7th, so this was 3 days later. 18-year-old suspect arrested for drive-by shooting near Yakima Market, bail set. A man and his 4-year-old child are unharmed after a drive-by shooting unfolded near the Wiley City Market on Yakima on February 4th. According to court documents, at 6:30 p.m., deputies responded to the market located at 2929 South Wiley Road for reports of shots fired. They found 9 9mm casings found in the roadway in the parking lot of the market. Fortunately, nobody was injured, but the car was left in bullet holes, said the YCSO Public Information Officer Casey Shalil Perut. He didn't spell that name exact. A bullet hole was discovered in the back seat of the victim's car, dangerously close to where a 4-year-old child was seated. A bullet hole in the back seat of the car. I thought it hit the car seat. According to court documents, okay, this guy's doing some more research. As the victim was driving with his child in the car, he repeatedly exchanged eye contact with the driver of a vehicle located in the south lot of the market. Repeatedly exchanged eye contact. Was he trying to, that look. That's what I've heard by a child abuser. You know that look when they give you. Which one's giving a look? Were they just making, innocent eye contact? Because repeated, exchanged eye contact repeatedly. Was the guy staring at him like he was going to rob him or something? So he kept looking back all nervous, like, what's this guy doing? What's this guy doing? Or was the guy like getting buck, and then the other guy started getting buck, and then they kept looking back and getting buck and getting buck? Feels like there's more to the story. Because there always is, right? There's always more to the story. Like a picture of the damn car that was shot up. After the victim drove by, the driver of the vehicle in the parking lot reversed and allegedly started firing at the victim's vehicle before driving away. That's trippy as hell. So it's not even like he's just driving by. It doesn't even really say it was by the Wiley City Market, so it's not even saying that they were shopping at the Wiley City Market. So the guy's just sitting there, lying in wait, looking for somebody to rob. That sounds crazy to me. Maybe there was some previous dispute. We're being told that they didn't know each other. Shalil Perot stated that the drivers involved did not know each other and the shooting isn't believed to be drug or gang related. A suspect was arrested 2 to 3 hours after the incident, was booked into the Yakima County Jail on 2 counts of assault in the first degree and 1 count of drive-by shooting. The 18-year-old suspect's bail has been set at $100,000. His arraignment is scheduled for February 19th at 9 a.m. And then the Yakima County Sheriff's Office released a statement on X. We are thankful that no one was physically injured. The outcome could have been so much worse. It appears the child is experiencing emotional trauma and is terrified to go out since the incident. We continue to investigate and gather more evidence for the prosecutor. So that's right here, and then it has to do with this little article that they had. I think I've already read this one, right? The Yakima Action News. 172 views. Let's go ahead and like it and share it. And it just sounds crazy, right? A drive-by shooting happened just because of repeated eye contact. Crazy times we live in. Alright, so there we got that entered into the record. Here's the Yakima Herald Republic. So Donald Myers is going to say something. Man arrested. Wiley City drive-by shooting, almost hit child in a car seat. And then there's a paywall. So we can't actually find out what the hell the information is, right? So 18-year-old Yakima man involved with a street gang is accused of shooting at a car in Wiley City. Now here's another, let's see, I think that's all the articles that we have on this entire story. That's all the articles. So, you know, I feel like I'm glad that somebody wrote about it, because it's not absolutely. Let's see where this Yakima, Washington is. Okay, so here's where the market is. So I guess what, just driving along South Wiley Road, somewhere around here, and it seems like a rundown part of the area. It doesn't seem like it's nice and shiny. It almost seems like this little corner store, the convenience store, is like the nicest building there. But you kind of got like some factories there, and there seems to be a lot of cars. So it looks like there's a lot of traffic and a few houses, but it just seems a little junky by the pictures that I had seen. Now let's take a look at it, you know, let's go back and see what this, okay, so this is huge, right? So what, this is Washington Park. Is this what the city, Yakima Terrace Heights? All right, let's just go all the way back. So there's some mountains, right? Mount Rainier National Park. Yakima Indian Reservation is, you know, close by. So where is this at just compared to Seattle? Where is Seattle at? There's Seattle right over here. So this is kind of out in the boonies, right? I guess if you're like a Seattle, Tacoma, Edmonds, Olympia kind of person, Portland kind of person, right? This is all the way out in Yakima. What is the population of Yakima? And I want to kind of just take a look at some of the other things that are happening in Yakima, Washington, because it's like, my God, I've never even, its population, 96,750. That's crazy. A population of just less than 100,000. It's the state's 11th most populous city, so I'm not for sure what that's behind, but less than 100,000 people, and you got like, well, Yakima, Washington, it's saying that the city's got a population of 100,000, but the metropolitan population is 250,000. Well, that's important, because you're saying the city of Yakima has 100,000, but just the greater Yakima area, so basically the metropolitan area is 250,000. That gives us, that makes a little bit more sense, right? What's going on is, clearly we got to have something good going on, right? Says that there's apple, wine, and hop production. So they have apple production. They're what, just picking apples, and then wine and hops. So we're just making beer and drinking wine and making beer. The Yakima Valley produces 77% of all the hops grown in the United States. Wow. So all the beer in the United States, a lot of the beer comes out of Yakima Valley. The name Yakima comes from the Yakima Nation Native American tribe, whose reservation is located south of the city. So, you know, fascinating history there. Crazy stuff that you're just there going to get some hot deli or some tortas, or get a free ice bag with your 24-pack, and then bang, bang, bang. Looks like they need to replace their little sign out there. And seems quiet and unassuming for rent, though, right there next door for rent. So if you have, you know, all these houses and all these factories and whatnot, looks like we can, you know, right over here, needs to be mowed. The lawn needs to be mowed. A lot of, you know, cars, and just seems like a lot of debris and crap is just kind of all over the place. And then you got closed down places, right? This used to be what, Willie D's? What happened to Willie D's? You know, restaurant and some kind of idle hour lounge. So Willie D's, you can't go to Willie D's no more, and it's, you know, it's all run down and it's all junky looking. Just getting some business there would make things better. I feel like I've kind of talked on and on about this case for too long, so let me just get one more. Let's see. Officer involved shooting in Yakima leaves one dead. This also was just recently reported, February 8th, 2025. An officer involved shooting left one man dead in Yakima. 4:30 p.m. on Saturday, the Yakima Police Department received a call about a man with a gun inside the Oxford Suites. The police arrived on the scene. The Yakima Police Department officer fired a gun at the man, who's now dead. We do not have a confirmed reason for why the shots were fired. It does not appear if the YPD officer is injured. The area is safe. However, traffic on Terrace Heights Drive may be affected. The Yakima Valley Special Investigation Unit is the agency investigating this incident. Holy shit. I got a lot of questions for this, this article, this incident here. It just said a guy was there and a gun was, a guy with a gun. Well, guess what? All the cops have guns. This is a gun nation. Everybody has a damn gun. So just a person with a gun doesn't mean shit. Was it holstered? Was it in his bag? Did he have it in his hands? Did he point it at somebody? Did he shoot at anybody? And then the Yakima Police Department is just going to go up there and shoot the fucking guy. Who killed him? They want to say the area is safe. Is it? Did you put the police officer who just murdered somebody on administrative leave? Because, if he's justified, he's justified, but he just shot and murdered a person. That's capital punishment. The court system can hardly get anybody through the capital, to capital punishment. So, golly, I want to follow up on this shooting here, but that's just, let's see. Here's another thing. Yakima man dead after officer-involved shooting. So this is the same report, but again, this Costilla County is saying that there's an officer-involved shooting and then there's an investigation, but they're not saying anything. It says he was dealing with a mental health issue. I mean, if you're dealing with a mental health issue, how do you get shot and killed? You walked into the Oxford Suites in Yakima with a gun on Saturday, and upon arrival, officers determined he was dealing with a mental health issue. And the incident resulted in an officer shooting at the man who died. He shot at the man. He shot the man. I mean, why did they say, things so weird? Well, he shot at the man, and then the man died. Was it due to the shooting and the bullet that came out of the gun? The officer pointed the gun, and a bullet exited the chamber. We don't know what happened next, but the guy ended up dead with a gunshot wound to the head. We're not for sure, if it's totally, of course it is. But that's another story a little bit later on.